All right, folks, as my hometown of Houston continues recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Harvey, we, of course, were there over the weekend with the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. Our cameras visited the Urban One radio stations there in Houston to talk with some of the folks who work there about what they had to deal with to going through that devastation.
The initial phase of you have to try to survive. So the first maybe 24, 48 hours, I think everybody's in survival mode, trying to see what's going to happen. As the days start to progress and things don't look like they're getting better, people start to seek out the radio station to get information. And whenever there's something happening in the community, I don't know why, I think it was the way I was brought up in radio, maybe community, and being black maybe even, that you feel like I have to do something. I want to be that voice, that comfortable voice that they've heard for a lot of years, telling them this is going to be okay, that's going to be okay, and actually directing them with information. Okay, this is happening here, that's happening there. When stores started to open up again, people were looking for food. And we literally got on the radio, hey, if y'all open, you got a food spot, let us know so we can direct people over there. We were telling people to go to certain places to get food because they've been cooped up in homes for so long. And they were looking for some warm food, some fast food or whatever it was, or looking for groceries. Was the K. Roger open? All these kind of things. And they were looking for that information. And I don't know, I just feel like I wanted to be that voice. My team wanted to be that voice that they heard, that settling voice that they heard when these things were happening, to let them know, hey man, things are bad, but we're gonna be okay. We're a fighting city, we're a fighting town, we're gonna be okay.
This is something that's going to be devastating for, it's going to be devastating for a minute and could be into the billions of dollars for our city to recover.
Here's the funny thing, I was here for 24 hours straight, then I decided, oh, you know what, let me make sure I got 2 little girls, let me make sure I got them. And then I found a hotel that was down the street, so I dumped them off. Actually brought them here with me for a little while. Actually, when it first started happening, I lied. I had them here for a little while, called around, found out there was a hotel down the street that, still had a couple of openings. I said, hey, let me go put y'all over here. I'm gonna come back over here and finish my job. So family was okay. Water got a little high in my neighborhood, but yeah, it was strange. A lot of, the staff stuck around, our bosses stuck around. A lot of times this is where you see people bail out a little bit, but it's comforting to see that your bosses, they're in the trenches with you, your coworkers, they're in the trenches with you. I don't care if you're full-time, part-time, everybody wanted to be a part. This collaborative effort, if you will, to try to help the community. And we took different shifts. Somebody might fall out for 3 hours and get back up, and you go take your nap for a little bit, and we just took shifts. When somebody fell out and just couldn't, I can't take no more. We just help, all right, you out, or they start talking deliriously on the air. Hey man, there's a sandwich back there. Why don't you go get that sandwich, relax for a couple of minutes, and we take that. And a guy be knocked out for the next 5 hours because he'd been up for the last 15, 20 hours. It started getting like that near the end when everybody is starting to come up for air. And you got certain communities to start to call you and say, hey man, we don't got no electricity over here. Hey man, there actually was a couple of people we helped to save. Like there's some old guy that can't get out of his house, he's over here. So we would go on Facebook and we would hit this person because he just called and told me, because he heard me on the air talking, that he had somebody that worked at EMS that worked for this person. And so we'll be on Facebook connecting to this person that would connect to that person that would call out to somebody else that would get them over there. So it was interesting how all these things were working. Social media, the radio, and everybody kind of working in unison to, help each other. And to me, that's the biggest thing I took out of all this. It was amazing to see, officers say, hey, when you see a man down, assist. That was saying, don't wait on us because we don't know what's happening here. We may not be able to get to you in time. If you can help your neighbor, go out there and help your neighbor. And that's the most miraculous thing I've taken out of all this, to see everyone, no creed, age, color, everybody coming together and trying to help one another, the way that it should be every single day.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's safe. Just want to let y'all know, me and my family, we safe. We got out. Our neighborhood was flooded up to chest high, but luckily we got out. We're in front of this Dollar General. It started raining, I believe, around a Monday. Throughout the week, I had a cousin that kept calling me, telling me, because I stayed with my mom and my dad, what were we going to do? Were we going to stay there? Were we going to ride it out? And he was so worried because in 2001, it was a tropical storm, Allison, and we had got flooded. And we had got like 8 feet of water. So You know, even though it was so long ago, a lot of my family was still worried about that. I kept watching the news and everything was getting so intense that I knew I couldn't go to sleep at night. So what I did, I started taking 2-hour naps with a timer. And I would wake up every 2 hours. I would go outside, look at the street because it was raining, it was pouring, and I would watch the news for 20 minutes. And every time I would wake up, the news kept getting worse and worse and worse. Within 20 minutes of me waking up everyone, the water started getting in the house. And once it started getting in, I looked at the clock. It was 7:02. From 7:02 to 7:20, it was like someone just opened a water faucet because the levees were breaking, the rivers were outflowing. There was a river by my house. So I'm not even kidding, like in 15 minutes, water went from nowhere to chest high in the house. Through social media and everything, everyone was giving out numbers of, places to call. So I called like the City of Houston information hotline. And I told the lady, hey, our neighborhood's flooding, what's going on in the city, what's going to happen. And then the most professional way that she could, I would never forget this, she told me there's no one's going to come. So we had to walk probably like 8 blocks in the water. And as we're walking, it's like everyone had got the memo at the same time in my neighborhood because it was like a line, it looked like hundreds of people from the neighborhood just trying to get out. As we're walking, everyone kind of stopped because someone in the front couldn't walk anymore. So everyone's just kind of looking around, seeing what to do. And some man opened his door and he was like, are you guys trying to get out? And everyone's like, yeah. He goes, well, come through my house because his backyard, it goes higher, so the water gets lower. So this man had opened his house and hundreds of people were going through his house. My only worry was we need to get out of the neighborhood. And by this time, I lost track of time. I can't even tell you what time it was. So I did the only thing I knew how to do because I work here and we're so media tech savvy. I did a video on Instagram. It's about maybe 20, 30 families out here with us. We're just trying to get a hold of the Red Cross, find some shelter. So if anybody knows anyone or a phone number we can call, I've been calling. No one answers. We're on Mesa and Green River, the Dollar General. There's no water up here. We're safe on high ground. For anything I got my phone, y'all text me, but we good, we safe. Y'all stay safe too. I kept seeing a few of the DJs from up here, especially GT man, he kept posting addresses of people who needed rescue, and then he would post that they were saved. So as I'm looking at that, I kind of just see someone who I know who had posted, and then his post helped them get rescued. I keep seeing people need help. Maybe if I start posting some stuff, some people will go that way.
You try to entertain and make them laugh and feel this and feel that and inform them and give them the information and play music, of course. But sometimes you do your job and you know that it's important and you know it's impactful. And like I said before, I wanted to make sure that they heard this voice that they've heard for a while on the radio saying repeatedly, it's going to be okay, we're going to make it through, here's some information that you need, here's what we need to do next. Sometimes when we watch the news, we watch these stories and we're totally unconnected to the story because it's not affecting us. We're just sitting at home like, oh, too bad for them. It's different when you go in these neighborhoods and you see the devastation that's happened to these people.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.